only you can change your own world. And now that you've discovered us at the Institute of Practical Learning, you too can watch and learn just how to do it.
Let's talk about light. What is light? Now, light is energy, and that energy comes from the sun. It is what's called an electromagnetic wave, or particles, or photons, however you want to think about it, but it's stuff, it's energy that comes from the sun, and it blasts out and it reaches planet Earth, and we see it in different ways. Now, different creatures see that energy in different waves. If you go up towards the North Pole and so on, you can actually see that radiation arriving here on planet Earth. Some people call it the Northern Lights, but it's energy. Now, as a human being, your senses have narrowed down what it is you actually see that is useful to you as a human being. And you can see a range of wavelengths which your human mind translates into being colours. You've got 3 different kinds of chemical inside your system, which is organic chemistry. I don't think we need to go too much into organic chemistry, but as a very quick aside, which I do tend to do, you are a human organism. Most of your body is made up of carbon, and you breathe in things like oxygen and nitrogen, and nowadays people understand much more about the chemistry of what's going on in a human being. You only have to go back a couple of 100 years to realize people had no real idea about what made up a human body and how it worked. But we live now in an age where you can have all sorts of instruments that look into your mind. They can understand or see your blood flowing around. People understand organic chemistry and the all sorts of amazing molecules that your mind creates. Now, there are 3 particular types of chemistry that enable your body to differentiate between red, blue, and green light. And then the rest of your mind takes those inputs and what's called synthesizes them, so it messes about with them and it blurs them into each other. So just by seeing red, blue and green light, you can combine those 3 components and make all sorts of other colors. We tend to divide them up into the 7 colors of the rainbow, and there should be a slide here that shows you what those colors are. Most children learn some kind of rhyme or story, and if you're into computing, you can learn codes for what those colors are, and computers and visual displays combine those codes together to project in front of you colors on a screen, and that's what you might well be looking at right now. So there you are, you're seeing presumably these 7 different colors. If you're lucky enough to live somewhere where you can see rainbows in the sky, you will actually see those colors as they go from red all the way through different colors like orange and yellow and green and blue and so on, and finish up in the what's called violet and indigo space. Now, as a human being, you don't see beyond that, but some creatures do. And some creatures see before the red, which is called infrared, and beyond the blue, which is called ultraviolet. So those are capabilities that you have when you look at white light. It can be broken down and you can perhaps better understand it. And it's a way for people to communicate with each other and show each other the colours that they want them to see. Now, that electromagnetic wavelength, which comes from the sun, is processed in your mind in a very similar way to which the totally different kind of energy, which I have called human energy, is processed, but the way it's processed, the system that's used inside your brain, which is a whole set of neurons that fire off and connect to each other, just as in a computer. There are ways of detecting with sensors what's going on. You have in your mind all these different sensors. They collect together and they fire off what's called neural potential action. And it is those potential actions that get accumulated inside your mind which gives you the capability to see happiness. Over the last 50 years, I've analyzed that human energy, that human social energy, to see just how your brain processes it and what are the areas that it differentiates, just as white light is differentiated into different colors. It's a very similar process. It's almost identical. So when you see different colors, you get different feelings. If you think about it, some things make you feel good and other things make you feel a bit depressed. So staying with the positive, we're going to look now in the next video at the 7 places, the 7 different colors that exist in your mind for seeing happiness and for finding meaning and what's called self-validation. And once you reach a certain level, what's called actualization. Now, the really good news is that there are 7 different places to look for that energy that can help you be happy, well, enable you to be happy. So there are these 7 different places, and you only need about 3 or 4 of them to experience satisfaction, self-validation, and be happy. So there's a lot more going on around you that you could potentially benefit from that would make you happy. And all you really need to know is where to look and, to some extent, how to look in an intelligent way. So party on, and let's move on to the next topic.